Avax is up over 16% on the week as Citigroup actually filed a patent in relation to their work on the Avalanche blockchain utilizing its unique subnet architecture. So in today's episode of the Everything Crypto Show, I want to break down what this means for Avalanche as they have partnered up with more than one of the biggest banks in America, as well as discuss the price action of the Avax token. Now, before we hop into the content, just a friendly reminder that I am not a financial advisor, nor do I offer any sort of financial advice on YouTube. I am simply here for your crypto news and entertainment purposes. And if you do find the videos informative, entertaining, maybe even both, please consider hitting that sub and like button and turn that notification bell on so you can be notified when all of our latest videos go live on the channel. Now, we are going to hop right into today's episode, and I do want to talk about AVAX, but as per usual, I do want to start off with our market update. So we are going to hop right into the Bitcoin chart here, which at the moment is sitting at about 63.5K. So we can see here that we actually saw Bitcoin at around 52.5K at the beginning of September. Things kind of started to turn around in anticipation of the Fed meeting, where it was expected that they were going to cut the interest rates by 0.25% to 0.5%, and they did end up cutting by 0.5%. So based off of that news, we saw Bitcoin rally about 20% from that 52.5K level. However, something I did kind of discuss back then and something I am still watching for is the fact that even with that big move from Bitcoin, we are still not breaking out of this set of lower highs that have been forming since the top here back in March. So you can see it right here, right? Like we have high, then we have a lower high, then we have a lower high once again, and we are still just kind of in this pattern of lower highs, unable to actually break this trend. And until Bitcoin is actually able to break above this and make some sort of a higher high, I do think that short term, the market is pretty much still set to shuffle sideways or move slightly to the downside. You know, all of this keeping in mind that over the longer term, I do still believe that this is just a pullback and consolidation period within a bull market, which is very typical if you look at prior price action for Bitcoin. So the silver lining here for the bulls is the fact that Bitcoin is actually holding above its bull market support band at the moment, sitting at about 62.6K, as it currently sits at about 63.4K. And if we were to actually get a weekly close above the bull market support band and breaking out of this lower highs trend that has been going on, this is when I believe that we would start to see some more rapid movements to the upside for Bitcoin and that the altcoin market would follow suit. Now, I want to take a look at Ethereum as well, looking a lot worse than Bitcoin and quite a few altcoins, to be honest. Ether has been a laggard for this bull run. I do expect this to change. I think that, Ethereum will have its time to outperform once again. I think that sentiment is just way too low on Ethereum right now. Everybody's bearish on it and its ecosystem, and I don't think it's ever a really good idea to doubt the second largest crypto by market cap and the biggest DeFi, the biggest blockchain for DeFi by far in terms of total value locked anyways. So Ethereum here, same thing. I mean, we kind of had this double top at $4,000. Unlike Bitcoin, has not been able to break up to a new high this cycle, and currently sitting down about 40% from the highs that it put in back in March. As it currently, about 35% down as it sits at just under $26,000. Now, Ethereum's chart does look very similar to the altcoin market chart, or rather, the altcoin market looks similar to Ethereum, but actually a little bit better. And in fact, at the moment on this breakout here, we can see that unlike Bitcoin, the altcoin market has actually broken out of its lower highs trend here, as well as it is in fact above its bull market support band. So we've been talking about this a lot in this bull run, how Bitcoin was a big outperformer in the quantitative tightening part of the cycle. But as we do enter the quantitative easing part of the cycle, which I believe has already started coinciding with the Federal Reserve's first rate cut, that we could see more liquidity flow back into riskier assets. And when we're talking about crypto, that would be the altcoin market. And when I am looking at the altcoin market and trying to find, new projects that I personally am interested in, I am looking for altcoins that are making partnerships with some of the biggest financial institutions in the world, blockchains that are seeing really big levels of growth and adoption across the board. And that's going to bring us into today's altcoin of discussion in terms of these partnerships with big financial institutions, as we are going to be talking about AVAX. So AVAX is up 209% over the past year. It was at about $9 a year ago today, currently sitting at $27.54. And as mentioned at the beginning of the video, this coin is up over 16% in the past week. And we did see a news article here that Avalanche gets boost as Citi files patent. Can this drive the AVAX price higher? So Citi, one of the world's largest financial institutions, is expanding a project it started on Avalanche, this time filing for a patent on a system that facilitates a double layer restriction subnet architecture. Basically describing a system that overcomes the technical limitations of conventional blockchains and their subnets. So to give you guys some context on this patent before we actually get into it specifically, it was announced, it was either last year or early this year, I can't remember, but it was announced previously that Citigroup actually tested the benefits of private markets tokenization with Avalanche Evergreen Subnet Spruce. So the bank tested use cases on Avalanche, a subnet designed for buy and sell side institutions to benefit from public blockchain infrastructure and innovation in a permissioned manner. And this was together with key investment and wealth management clients like Wellington Management, Wisdom Tree, and ABN AMRO. They basically tested a variety of different use cases with a focus on private markets, including end-to-end token transfers, secondary transfers to enable trading, and validating new capabilities with collateralized lending. So to carry out the test, the Avalanche Spruce network was selected for its multi-level permissioning, EVM compatibility, custom, i.e. non-crypto gas fees, institutional focus, and further customizability. In this report, Citi ultimately concluded that tokenization unlocks the value in traditional markets to new use cases and digital distribution channels while enabling greater automation, data, and operating models, such as those facilitated by digital identity and smart contracts. And they talk about a bunch of their takeaways here from this project, and now they are filing a patent in relation to their work on this project and in relation to subnets. Now, I do want to just briefly discuss subnets, as this is something that makes the Avalanche blockchain unique, effectively allowing it for infinite scalability. So on Avalanche, a subnet, short for subnetwork, is a set of nodes collectively responsible for reaching consensus on the transactions associated with one or more blockchains. Essentially, it can be thought of as a network inside a network, or alternatively, a network built on top of a larger one. So the Avalanche platform consists of the primary network, which is a subnet in itself, and a variety of custom subnets built on top of this. The total number of subnets on Avalanche changes continuously. Ideally, we want to see this number going up because it would mean that there is greater adoption of the subnet feature. So every validator on an Avalanche subnet is required to become a member of the primary network, which involves staking a minimum of 2,000 AVAX. And this addresses sort of like a big issue right off the bat is, if people can basically make these subnets and customize them for their own gas fees with non-crypto, how does this, benefit the AVAX token? And that is why, they kind of have this feature set up at the moment where you actually have to stake a minimum of 2,000 AVAX to even open up a subnet. And yeah, these subnets basically allow institutions and anyone really to create a bunch of custom parameters, including token/fee structure, permissioned or permissionless, so public or private, validator performance requirements, privacy, and validator incentives. So effectively allowing for infinite scalability and customizability of blockchains. And I do think that's a big reason that these banks have been looking at the subnet feature that is offered by AVAX. And when I say banks, JPMorgan is also included in this, as it was announced somewhat around the time that they did their work with Citigroup, that basically a collaborative effort under the Monetary Authority of Singapore, showcasing a proof of concept that marks a first and pivotal step towards revolutionizing the asset and wealth management industry, according to this Avalanche post. So Layer 0 connected Onyx digital assets with a permissioned Avalanche Evergreen subnet, which facilitated subscriptions and redemptions for funds offered by WisdomTree, a leading asset manager and pioneer in fund tokenization. And they say it here, Avalanche Evergreen subnets are individual blockchains customized for institutional clients and applications. So both JPMorgan and Citigroup have been confirmed to be, working and testing different use cases on the Avalanche Evergreen subnets. And now we have Citigroup actually seeking to file this patent here. And it says that the double layer architecture it is building is made up of a series of permission subnets, which provides both the security/privacy benefits of permission blockchains, but also the scalability of subnet efficiency. So this would indicate, we haven't heard much follow up until we saw this announcement here, or rather this patent was kind of shown on Twitter. This would, we could imply, or we could take away from this, that Citigroup most likely liked what they saw with their work while they were working with Avalanche and taking a look at the subnet feature. And that is why I think the AVAX token has kind of moved up here. I think the general altcoin market has been moving up, but I do believe that this news in regards to Citigroup could have definitely also helped the price action. Now, to wrap things up, speaking about the price action, I do want to take a look at the AVAX chart. And I want to take a look at this chart because really the AVAX token at the moment is just stuck in between this trading range between $20 and $30. $20 a pretty key area for the price action. If I actually put us on a log scale to make it easier to see, you're going to notice here that it acted as support back in 2021. It acted as resistance here for 2023. AVAX was having a difficult time actually getting above this level. And we can see here that going into 2024, AVAX actually broke above $23, back tested it as support, ran all the way up to $65 from there, and effectively round tripped on a weekly wick, actually coming down to $17. However, you can see here that it did hold the $20 level of support, and since then it has just kind of been making its way back to the upside after trading in this range here. So what I'm really looking for on the AVAX token is quite simple, and I don't think it needs to be more complicated. There is strong support at $20 and strong resistance at $30 here as well. Now, the one thing that is also working in AVAX's favor is that it currently is sitting close to its bull market support band. It can either work to its favor or work against it depending on how it closes. If it does close above the bull market support band at about 27, it's basically sitting at about 27.60 in the middle of its range, then we could see this token make a run back up to the $30 level. And above that, I don't see any significant areas of resistance really until back at about $50. So, if AVAX is able to break above the bull market support band and get above $30, I do think this token is primed for a run after trading in this range here since about June. However, if the altcoin market does want to make its way back to the downside, I will be looking for $20 as that area of support. So on that note, let me know in the comments down below what you think about the AVAX token. I hope you all enjoyed the content in today's video. I hope you are all staying happy, safe, and healthy, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.